Well, welcome to the story of the New Testament. So I just want to formally kind of recognize that you're in this course. Thank you for taking the course, and I hope that you learn a great deal as we take it. Just tell you a little bit about what to expect out of the course. So what this course really is trying to do is give students a basic overview of the major content of each of the New Testament letters. So that's a lot of material to cover within a semester. But what we're going to do is each week you will have certain podcasts that you will listen to that I've created. And you'll also have certain reading assignments out of the assigned textbook. And so through this, you'll get a basic understanding of kind of the background of these different, what we call books. And you'll get a understanding a little bit about some of the major content, the major material that's inside them. So, of course, for a course like this, we have students who come from very different backgrounds. For some students, this is the first time that they've really done a kind of complete survey of the entire New Testament. And so it's a lot of information. It's a lot that is new. And so I'm trying to make sure that I can take you through that information carefully, and that you are getting the information that is most important to have a familiarity with those books. But we also have a lot of students who take this course and they have read these books a number of times. They've heard sermons from them, they've had Bible classes from them, and so they have a good familiarity already with the background about these books. But I will tell you this, that even if you have, grown up basically hearing about these books, there is always a lot of things about the history of these books that are oftentimes not conveyed in a sermon or in a Bible class at church. So I'm sure that even if you have grown up listening to the New Testament and hearing and studying the New Testament, that there's still going to be information here that will be probably new, especially as we think about what we call critical issues of the book, and that is some of the questions about the origin of the books and its authorship. So these things are not as clear cut as what oftentimes Christians assume that they are. So through this course, as you're being exposed to information, we're also giving you an opportunity to engage with each other about the things that you are learning. So a key component for the course are discussion boards. And so each week, you'll have the opportunity to engage with each other about the things that you are hearing, either in my podcast or from the assigned readings in our textbook. Then you'll get a chance to respond to prompts that I will give, and I will evaluate those prompts to see if they are substantive. That is, that you have thought about that prompt, you reflect on that prompts, and you're giving a substantive response showing your understanding about these books. So I will point you to, there is a document in Blackboard that describes what a substantive response looks like. And so I encourage you to take a look at that so that you make sure that your post meets that standard. Not only do you respond to me about the things that you have heard or read, but you'll also be required to respond to at least 2 other students. And I really want to stress here that when you do that, you consider how you are responding. We certainly want to make sure that you are responding in ways that are cordial and respectful. We are creating dialogue here about the material. But also I want to encourage you to try and be specific when you are responding to others. Just saying to someone, oh, I liked your post, nice job, that's not very substantive. But if you can explain a little more why it is that you like something, or why it is that you were drawn to something that they said, you can make specific references to scripture that supports your position or your view, or you make specific references to something in the podcast or specific references to something in the assigned reading, or a specific reference to something else that you may know of that can help the other students understand a little bit more your position and why you believe the things you believe, or why you have arrived at the conclusions that you have arrived at. Also, you want to make sure that you can be engaging with other students. So ask questions, not just questions that are of a rhetorical nature. By that I mean simply questions that you already have the answer to. Where you might ask questions, why is it that people can't just see, this point? Well, that's not really sometimes being asked because you want to try and find out an answer. You're just basically expressing maybe a frustration or an inability to see another person's view. Try to ask questions where you're really seeking to learn something, because other students may actually have information. So you can certainly ask me questions and I can respond to you directly. There will be a Q&A section, where you can post questions that you have about the materials that you want more information on, or you can ask other students in the class. So all of this is about us creating this community to learn together about the New Testament. The only one, besides the reading quizzes that you'll have and exams that you'll have, there's only really one major assignment with the course, and that is a what I call a New Testament story essay. And there is a separate video that explains that, and instructions about what should be in that essay, as well as an example of what a really good essay would look like. So I encourage you to take a look at that video and those instructions. So again, just welcome to the course. I know that there's going to be stuff that will be new to you. Some may be newer. A lot of this may be newer to other students. And if you find things that are confusing or over your head or unclear, just let me encourage you to reach out, to let me know what I can do to help you find out information. And maybe you might ask something that I don't know an answer to, but I can certainly go and try and see if there is an answer. Some questions we may never have an answer to. They're just unknowns because there's just not information. But sometimes there might be a question that's out there, and I might be aware of scholars who are working in an area or a field where that might be able to provide you some answer or some direction towards answering your questions. So again, I'll just leave it with that, and welcome you to this course, and let you know that I am here to be helpful in any way so that you can succeed in learning about the basic content of the New Testament.